Hey, welcome back. We're back in Timberborn in our Windtop Bluff colony. And today we've really got to get going on some mega projects. We've got one to take care of down here. We've got one to take care of up here. And then we've got one to work on here. So let's start with some of the work that we're going to need over here. First things first, I think we're going to need 2 more spaces here. And instead of using all of these strange... Oh, that's going to have to go. Using all of these, admittedly slower than I would like, tunnels here to clear all this out, we are going to use a mod. It's always nice to pick up a mod just when you need it. And it might not be a permanent thing, but it's definitely going to be a thing. So we're going to get rid of these. We're going to move you down. We're going to take, let's see, we're going to switch you. Actually, I'm going to have to turn that. Let's turn you this way. Yeah, that should work. And then we'll fit in the explosive place with the door on the other side this time. And we'll even put the power back in here. There we go. That can go in there. Now, I downloaded a mod that basically gives our triple dynamite, as you can see, the ability to take out more depths. And I've got it set to 22, which is basically the max that a dirt pile can be. But it does take 21 extract. And unfortunately, there used to be a mod that gave you multiple different sizes of dynamite and you just put down whatever you want. It kind of got changed into this. It doesn't seem to work quite as well, but you know what? It still works. So as long as it still works, we can take out a large portion of this fairly quickly with these bots over here. And I think even the other side will come over and help out just a little bit. However, as you see, it will take out this extract, this entire extra extract dump that we have fairly quickly. Let's make sure that gets in there so we can get the extract back. These are all, yep, those are ready to go. And then once they're done with that, we'll come back over here and look at that. Our second mega project that I want to look into today is making this a bit taller so that we have to worry less about water here and water here the whole time. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and we're going to take out, first of all the paths on the top of here, because I don't want any beavers getting stuck. Because they always get stuck. No matter what you try to do, unless you get a mod, they just always seem to get stuck. So we're going to take out all of that. We're going to take out, nope. We're going to take out the, there we go. And we're even going to take out this portion right here. There we go. They didn't really need it anyway. Let's go ahead, get in just a large, very large. Okay, that might be really too large, but that's all right. We'll deal with it. We've got a ladder here. We're gonna take off the top one though, because what I'm gonna do is we're gonna start with those, and I want to use an old tried but true method of using a bridge here to go ahead and get them to build out across there. Now, I want them to build up here first so they don't get themselves trapped here, so we'll let them build and come back to that too. Over here, we're still getting some bad water dumping, so I'm thinking I need to change this into bots so that they're not affected by the bad water. Of course, with bots now being over here, we need a little bit of an outpost for them. So let's just grab the things that they're gonna need. They're going to need 2 of those, and we'll even grab a small... nope, we want a small warehouse. There we go. We'll do biofuel coming in. We'll do the catalyst coming in. And we'll do our punch cards. There they are, also coming in. Hopefully they bring stuff over here so that we don't have to worry too much about this area. And we can even say, yeah, go ahead, cut out everything over there that you can, because, you know, why not? They can't get really affected by the bad waters, so we might as well have them work on some of that. Over here in our, well, our basically water tower community. In fact, you know what? Let's just name this. These are the water beavers. Yes. Which is a wonderful mod, and I definitely do recommend. But for now, these are the water beavers because they are kind of living inside of, and we'll be building our big water tower. They've got a good start on some of this, but we have some extra beavers over here, as you can tell. In fact, there's about 18 extra. So let's go ahead and have them build a couple builders huts. Let's just do something like that. Should take care of 16 of them there. There we go. And we'll say that those are higher priority than everything else. Then they can work their way around here. We'll also take some dirt and we'll face this outwards. There we go. So that hopefully they can get over here and at least start the turn this way. We're going to have to figure out a way for them to get over there. In fact, they might just be, I don't know why that picked up that, but okay. Let's start with these over here so they can get those in and be working from this side as well. There we go. That should do. And then I'll work on getting up some of the walls around there just as they can. Something I am noticing about some of these places, we are kind of running out of power here and there. So I'm going to see if I can put in one more battery there. And we'll see if we can maybe get in some extra power generators too. Anywhere else I can toss one maybe? You know what? It's kind of off center, but it should still work just fine. So we'll put those in, and they are building those fast, but that's okay. That is perfectly fine. Once they're done with those two, I'll put in the last of this. That's in there. All right. That was quick. All right. Hopefully, with the extra power and maybe a little bit of extra generation, they'll be doing all right. Over here, they're still working on some of the dynamite, so we'll come back and check that in just a minute. Oh, and this idea right here, it looks all right, but I think I've got a better one, so we're going to change it up. It's a little strange, considering that I took out some of the parts that we might need, but that's okay. We'll figure that out as we go. Last episode, we had these going in to hopefully stave off some of the bee stings, and we're going to continue on with that. I think, though, that we're going to need... let's find out here. Where can I put this? That's a 3 and a 3, so 1, 2, 3. It'll have to go in this row here. So we're going to have to take out... You know what? I'm just going to take out the whole row. There we go. That can all go. I'm going to start switching some of these out for bots so that we have less to worry about. Those are already bots. Anybody that could possibly get in it down here? Nope. Let's switch those out for bots. And we will go ahead and put in our nice beehives here. How far over does this beehive need to be? I could put it here. We only really missed 2 that way, so that's fine. But looks like that's not far enough. So we'll let them come and take that out, and then we'll come back for the beehives. We have basically the whole thing done here, so we'll come back this way. And maybe if these guys decide to get off of the... You guys, get out of there. Go on. You know what? Let's say demolish you, because we're going to have to do that eventually. And then... well, we might not be able to get to these until they're all done, because the bots are just kind of constantly walking on them. So, yep. Well, we'll have to wait until they get all the rest of that done, and then we'll come down and see what we can do from there. Here looks like a good area that we could replace out with some of these extra bots that we have and maybe get a little bit more efficiency out of. Of course, again, we're going to have to build maybe, just maybe, some supplies for the bots, but hopefully that increases our amount of total trees that we have. They're going up, but it's going up kind of slowly, so we just grab them. If we put in let's see, do the storage, do the tanks again, and just a warehouse. There you go. We'll populate those with more stuff here. Just our catalyst. Speaking of which, it looks like we're a bit low on that, so we might go check and see if those are being handled by bots. Let's go over here real quick. No, these are still being held by regular beavers. Let's go ahead, switch them over to bots. There we go. More bots it is. Looking good there. I think that should be just fine. We'll let them hopefully catch up on more of the stuff. Let's also put in maybe just one more hauling post. And we'll do regular beavers, but we'll do 10 of them there, just so we have somewhere to send them all. They've got all of this taken care of for us, so I think we're going to go ahead. We're going to put in the first beehive here, and then we'll need the next one maybe here. There we go. And then the last one can go about here, I guess. We'll have to destroy that one potato there. But theoretically, that should make all of the rest of the potatoes grow faster, which is what we really want. We'll go ahead, take these back out. That should still be able to be reached, I think. We'll put potatoes there. We'll get our nice beehive there. There is a mod that allows you to just switch things with a beehive, but I, of course, don't have that one activated at the moment. So we're just going to have to count them out. 1, 2, 3 there. 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 2, 3. 1. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1. That's probably close enough. And then we just align them with this. There we go. We'll get one here, kind of right there. We'll get one here. How about one? That 1, 2, 3. That should be out of the range of those. I don't want my beavers that are over here in the river actually getting bee stings, so we'll see. And then over here, we might just wait and see what we've got there. So we've got the bees started here. There's a bee, there's a bee. Yep, more bees, all the bees. Hopefully that increases our production. But while we're doing that, and hopefully we can avoid most of the bee stings here, let's go ahead and get this in here, and we'll get that in there. And then we just copy it on the other side. We have one there, and we have one there, and we'll get an outlet somewhere over here somewhere. Once they get those in, we'll make a tunnel for them. But this can already be closed off, and we have the extra room. I believe having them one down should prevent bee stings. For my testing, it works that way, so we'll see. Let's see. We want to keep the regular beavers out of here anyway. So let's just put potatoes in there, and they can all grow potatoes on a farm. There we go. This is already in. Let's take those out, and we'll do our staircase here and here. And let's go down through the map real quick. Let's see. Down we go. We want to, on this level, we're going to do a tunnel, which that's just landscaping dynamite. Oops, missed. There we go. We'll connect these in and then we'll connect those in later. On the other side, they've got started, but I don't have the outlet planned yet, so we'll just hold off on those. We can just leave dynamite sitting in the road. There's nothing dangerous about that, right? There we go. This is starting to fill. How is the project over here doing? Oh, they've got it in, so we can actually start with putting up these as high as they'll go. And then we'll just have some massive water storage capability over here. There we go. And then we'll put one of those, grab the bridge, and it can go out there. We'll let them continue to work on that. So look at that. They've got their dynamite set up. So let's watch this area just disappear. There it goes. Awesome. That is what we were looking for. And I could sweep this up real quick. It hopefully shouldn't take too long if I just do something like this. And we just keep coming across here, putting all of those as far over as they will go. I'm sure those will go to the back. Half and half. There we go. Those can all go. We'll come in and fill all this in. And hopefully, just hopefully, they don't start building this too soon. I don't know where that went. But did it all get piled up here somewhere? Maybe back here? Oh, that's all right. We're gonna have to probably change some things up anyway. Now that we've swept this, though, we don't have to worry about all the stuff that's on the bottom. We can go ahead, take all of this back out. We don't actually... Oh, they decided they were going to start building that. That's okay. They are eager. And I am too, because we're going to get this place just built up. And what I'm going to do, instead of just putting in those flimsy platforms, I guess you could say, flimsy platforms. Yes, sure. We'll go with that. We will build a house of stone. So we're going to put that in first. And I'm going to come across and we are going to put in, let's see, we need a power. We need the upward power shafts here. So we're going to go all the way up to as tall as this is here. There we go. And this is still in the way. So we're going to have to change this. And this. And this. That's fine for now. Let's go ahead and we'll grab a regular power shaft. There we go. We'll put one in there. And then let's grab all of our wind turbines, or at least a couple of them to get them set up. There we go. There's 3. Now we just need to find out where the roof over those needs to go in. Looks like about there. So we're going to do that, but I don't want that one in there. And I will show you why here in a bit. Do that. This. Not there. We're just going to make them 3 wide all the way down, which should let us get in more of these. Then we just come up. Let's put in another one here. There we go. And we'll grab another one here. And it looks like those are going to have to actually go up a level. So let's put in another road right along here, just so they can build along there. Let's take this out of there. Yep. And yep. And there's that. We're just going to come across... Oh, is there a road there or something under there? Yes, there was a road under there. Come through here. All the way through here. And all the way down to here. There we go. This side, we're going to build all the way up. Eventually, I think we'll build all of them all the way up like this. But we're going to do something unusual. And we're going to come through. We're going to say, let's put in ladders here. Well, probably don't need one over there, but that's okay. And we're going to go ladders all the way to the bottom from the top over here. There we go. Kind of an unusual one, but that's fine. We'll do that and that. And we'll even connect in the roadway here. How did you get trapped up there? Seriously? All right. You go there. That's fine. For now, you go there. That should work. They'll build that. Now you get out of there. You! Stop that. No. Get out of there. Okay. No more. Hopefully that means they have to build up and then over and around, and then they can come down and build this out this way. And we're going to build a bit of a wind tunnel for power. Now, will that actually make the wind blow harder through there? Physics says yes, game says no, so it's just going to be for the looks. Sometimes you just got to do things for the looks, though. There you go. We'll do 3 there. And 3 here. 3 here. All the way down with 3. There we go. And these will, of course, fill up in here, and there'll be another row in here, which will all connect back to this main shaft eventually. But we're going to let them work on some of this first and come back. Over here in the water tower, we've got one side set up, so they just have to work on getting it built. I think they're building some of the other sides at the moment, so they seem to need metal. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do the storage for it. Let's go ahead. We'll put in that for metal blocks. We'll say it's super important, and they can work on getting that in there. This, I don't know why those are there. That's not where we want those to be. So we're going to take those out. However, this isn't quite at the bottom either yet. So let's go ahead and we will just use the large dynamites while we have them to go all the way down to the bottom of the map there. And then I would like to follow it out. It looks like it's on the edge of this. So if we follow that path all the way to over here, we'll put another one right there, and we can bomb all the way down to the bottom of the map and go across, hopefully making a trench for some of this stuff. They've got all this in, so we'll go ahead, put in the tunnel over here, just in case they need to get started. Let's also go ahead and we'll put in, let's see, this, and actually, you know what? Here, we might actually have to change our way, and we'll make a ladder here. So if we go down 2, that should be fine. Once they do that, we can take care of this. Did I not go down far enough on that one? Oh, maybe I did. Okay, let's stop. Thought I had that done already, but I misread it. That's fine. We'll just do that. Quick fix, we can put the dirt back in. There we go. We'll connect the... There we go. So I did have that done. Okay. Not a big deal. They can come in and put that in. However, I did make a slight error in that even though I put this right next to here to save bee stings, I lost a good portion of my field. So what I'm going to do is we're going to move these back just 2 apiece. So we lose 2 apiece there, but we should gain a whole bunch of extra over here once they come through and do that. So we'll keep an eye on that and let them go. We need to keep this potato field running as fast as we can because we're not that we're low on potatoes, but there's a lot of things that revolve around potatoes in this colony for some reason. We've got our dynamites here, so let's go ahead. We'll take those out, which should drop that down to the bottom. And then over here, they've got that one in too. We can go ahead and build in our tunnels underneath here. Grab the dynamite, and we go all the way down to the bottom layer. It does seem like clicking is faster than the mouse wheel for that for some reason. I'm not sure why, but just the way the game works. Did I miss by one? I think I might have missed by one, but that's okay. We can always get another dynamite. It's not that big a deal. There we go. We'll just do this. Yeah, somehow I missed by one. Oh well. So is life, you know. You've got all the tools in the world and still somehow you end up missing by just one. So what we'll do is we'll come through, we'll put another dynamite right here, and then let's say we can fill this back in with dirt, because who knows what would happen if we don't. Bad water would probably bubble up out of the ground here, even though we'll end up probably taking that down as well. Is that not even at the lowest level? No, I didn't even put it at the lowest level. I'm just not having any luck, am I? We don't believe in measure twice, cut once here. It's measure never and cut as many times as you need. There we go. Let's go ahead. We'll put that in there. And then I don't really want a 2-layer one. And if I leave that, I know they will build it. So we want that on 0 level. So let's go ahead, take out all of this. We don't need it to be on the 2nd level. We'll put it on the bottom level for now. There we go. That looks good. And then we're going to need one more of those. That should get us connected in there. We can go ahead and move the farms back now that they've taken out those couple of fields of wheat behind them. No. Road. There we go. Road. And now we can put wheat in front here. And that should mean that they can get to, yeah, everything except that there, which, all right, not a big deal. We'll just, we'll plant one of you, and that should be fine. But it looks like the potatoes are doing much better. They're coming up much faster here. Let's make these a bit higher priority, though, so that we get those back in and we get this food again. Make sure that they're set for this, and this farm can focus on potatoes. This farm can focus on wheat and also be that. And there we go. It's like this one's done, but you know what? We can take this down to 16 hours and hopefully they'll go home for the evening. Maybe they'll go home for the evening. Dang. Sorry. Why is there another dynamite down there? I don't know. Okay, it just got dynamited. Well, he went out with a bang. I'm sorry. That's terrible. But you know what? We're gonna stick with that one. Let's do that. I always try not to blow up the beavers, but occasionally one just dives in. Can't do anything about those beavers that just love their dynamite a little bit too much. Let's see if we can get this maybe here and here, and that should do it. There we go. Once all that's in, let's at least get these so they can get across there. Once all that's in, then we can worry about getting the rest of that in there. Got a little bit more of the wind tunnel set up here. You can see with this wall, that's why we're calling it the wind tunnel. Although I'm going to leave this open so that I can kind of monitor things. Do I need to? No, but you know what? We're gonna do that anyway. So let's see if we can at least figure out where the tops of these would be. Looks like right there. So we'll do that, and we can get all of this in there. That's gonna have to go. We're gonna have to put some in here. There we go. There we go. That's kind of what it'll look like all the way down. We're gonna get another row of these on top here. One, where did you go? You went there, there, and there. And we got it hooked up with the power. There we go. It might take them quite a while to get some of this set up. But once this is set up, we can work on getting gravity batteries in here. We'll see how much this generates. I don't think it'll generate as much as, say, like the Iron Tooth's solution to power is, but we'll see what we can do with this. Let's try again with the new dynamite. There we go. Now they just need to put in the tunnel, which for that, well, we'll actually have to have them make that first. In fact, did that go? You know, had that not been there, I could have probably taken the dynamite all the way out. But that's okay. They've got the path to over here through. We can go ahead and once they've got this in here, which shouldn't take them too long, we'll send a ladder down that way and then they can start working back this way. Over here, let's check and see. They've got that done. How's the tunnel looking? Let's go underneath here and see. They've got the tunnel done, so we'll get that connected up as well. Let's go ahead. We will blow those two up. There we go. This time not killing any beavers. And we'll go ahead and take out these roads right here. Let's do that. And oh, they still have ways up there. They still have plenty of ways up there. They can just take the zip line in around. So we'll go this way with the wheat. We'll go this way. And where's my coverage for this? I could probably put one in here somewhere. So let's go ahead and take this out of there. So that's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 here. And that should be the last one for this section at least. Is it perfectly covered? Not really, but you know what? I think we'll be okay. I think we'll somehow live. And there's a little space here where beavers can get stung, but hopefully it really minimizes the possible. I could go under here and put ladders up and do stuff like that, but you know what? We're gonna leave the underpass, overpass kind of look here, and we're just gonna go with what we get from it. I noticed some of our food places are still running on regular beavers. I'm gonna go ahead and change those out just to see if we can get a little bit more of it made, although most of it is currently fine. There's a couple of foods that we could use a little more of here and there, so we'll go ahead and set those up. Let's go ahead and get our bots over here as well. There we go. All the bots there. And we still have a couple of science places for some reason. If we need more beavers, we'll take those out of there. We could even put bots in the observatories, but there's very little risks working in the observatories, so we'll leave them there, and if again we run out of beavers, we'll switch them over. I didn't want this district to feel left out with all the mega projects going in on other sides, so I think what I'm going to do, we're just going to build that one. Well, maybe not there. We're going to build it where it connects to that one. There we go. And we'll change the road around just slightly. And then they have a whole trip around the lake they can take. Unfortunately, I can't connect these two, but they'll just have to walk back and forth. Those beavers, they hate walking, I'm sure. But they'll have to live with it, and they'll get that done. But I think that's going to wrap us up this time. We've got a decent amount of this planned out over here. They're working through getting more of the water tower in. The back of the reservoir is going in pretty well. We'll have to keep an eye on our trees. And we've started our wind tunnel over here. So once that gets in there, already we're generating just 3,000 power. And we've only got the first 3 on each row done. So that's not too bad. And then we're going to have a bunch of batteries along the back there that we'll get to eventually. Hopefully we'll get some into that next time. But until then, just want to say thank you very much for stopping by and hope to see you next time. Bye.